What a glowing morning recently here on the little planet. Just take a look at that. That's exactly what it looked like early in the morning here the other day. I can tell you, it was downright magical. What a glow there in the sky! Honestly, I've never seen it like that before. And then the wind making music with the leaves in the trees. A single glow, shine and rustle. And then, afterwards, silence. A quiet, peaceful autumn day followed. For me, it was time to collect colorful autumn leaves again. For my little autumn tree, which I make every year, and which then always stands in our hallway. This has already become a ritual. Up here on the top comes in a few weeks a star, and from the autumn tree then becomes a small Christmas tree. And now take a look at what else I've done in the last 2 weeks. During the intensive work on my Etsy store, I've captured a few impressions for you. There were so many different hand movements. In the study, not only a whole lot of things piled up, which all wanted to be photographed by me. There were props everywhere, which I needed for it, and it was partly quite a chaos around me. Every time I thought, yes, now I have everything done and also considered, then there was still something to do or to consider. Yes, and sometimes I thought how nice it is to do so many things by hand. with a certain leisure, to be absorbed in it, and even to develop new ideas in the time of such a work process. To think very carefully about how I would like to wrap something and then sand it. How such a package should look, so that you can be happy before you unpack it. I dare to say that there should be a lot of love in everything. In my small warehouse, I still restack everything again and again, because I couldn't yet create a final order. And since I always had to put something in scene, I now added photography to filming, which I'm just discovering. My goodness, there are so many beautiful forms of expression. Little by little, the Etsy store then took shape. And it gave me a huge joy to describe all the items and imagine what it will be like, what it will feel like when my little store will be finally open. Right now, it's a really exciting feeling, in a positive sense. I already have some new ideas, which I hope to implement and integrate before the end of the year. And yes, of course, I can't know at all how everything will turn out after the opening, how it will develop or not. But I don't need to know that yet. Right now, all the things that I'm doing right now are important for me to do, because they bring me joy. Everything else will become clear. And I notice that I do something full of joy again and again, that I get absorbed in it. And then I have doubts. Whether it's okay how and what I do sometimes. What will become of it? Whether anything will ever come of it. Whatever that means in the end. Yes, and then, despite such doubts, to just stick with it. Not to bite through it, but to always keep this unbelievably fulfilling joy of doing in focus, to always remember it. That has a quality that shouldn't be underestimated. To be able to experience this then, to be allowed to experience it, leaves me grateful again and again. Hey dear ones, if you've looked this far, then you're incredibly faithful for one thing, and haven't switched away before.
Dass ihr bis hierhin schaut und nicht schon vorher irgendwie weggeswitcht seid.
And you also got a little impression of what I've been so busy in the last 2 weeks.
Die letzten beiden Wochen beschäftigt habe. Und ihr habt das
And you have seen the mess that was with me and still partly prevails. Through all these items I photographed for the Etsy store. And I can tell you, I opened it. The Etsy store is open. You can find it on Etsy under the name TanishasPlanetArt. Yes, why in English and not in German? Because it sounds better in English than in German. So, Tanishas Planet Art is open on Etsy, and you probably won't find me there because I'm much too small. At least for now. Maybe that will change someday, but for now it's easiest if you go to this active link in the info box below. From there you can go directly to the store and make a precision landing on Tanishas Planet Art. Right now, there are 32 items there for you to browse. I've also looked that there's really something for every budget. But now I'm also at a point that is very important. I will first, at least now at the beginning, only deliver within Germany.
Innerhalb Deutschlands ausliefern. Und ich weiß, ich habe
I
einige
know
wirklich
I have some
absolut
really
liebe
absolutely
und
dear
auch
and also
treue
faithful friends from Austria,
Abonnenten
from
aus
Switzerland,
Österreich,
from
aus der
Greece, from
Schweiz,
Italy,
aus
and from
Griechenland,
the US.
Italien. Und euch möchte ich sagen,
I would
dass mir
like
das
to say
unendlich
to
leid
all
tut, dass
of
ich im
you
Moment
that I'm
nur
very
innerhalb
sorry
Deutschlands
that at the
ausliefer.
moment I
Aber
only
das
deliver
war
within
durch diese
Germany.
Porto-Geschichten
This is so
schwierig.
difficult because of the postal
Ich hätte
charges.
teilweise gerade die Schweiz
I wouldn't
betreffend, aber
only
auch
earn
Österreich
nothing
bei
with
diesen
these small
kleinen
products
Produkten,
that I
die ich
have
hier
there,
habe,
but even slide
ja, da
into the
hätte ich
minus.
Minus gemacht. Aber ich sage
But
euch,
I
wenn
tell you,
irgendjemand
if
von
someone
euch
of you
ganz,
would
ganz
like to have
dringend
something
etwas
of my
von meiner
art, then
Kunst
please
dort
write
haben
to me
möchte, dann
and we will
bitte
find a
schreibt mich
solution.
an und wir werden eine Lösung
I say
finden.
that now.
Das sage ich jetzt mal
We
so.
will
Wir
find a
werden
solution.
eine Lösung finden. Ja,
As
wie
I
gesagt,
said,
32 Artikel
32
habe ich
items
jetzt
I have now put online.
hochgeladen, online
These are
gestellt.
all prints,
Und
I
das
think
sind
very beautiful,
alles
brilliant
damit
prints of my
Drucke, wie
artwork
ich
on
finde,
very
sehr
different objects,
schöne,
which you could already
brillante
see in the
Drucke
video
meiner
partly.
Kunstwerke auf ganz unterschiedlichen Dingen. Habt ihr ja teilweise auch schon gesehen jetzt im Video. Ja.
Yes, I did it.
Und ich
I would
möchte euch
like to
noch
tell you
kurz
something about these last 2
was zu diesen
weeks.
letzten 2 Wochen sagen. Ich hatte
I actually had quite a few
nämlich wirklich so ein paar
surprises.
Überraschungen noch. Als ich nämlich gerade anfing,
Just
das
when I
alles so ein
started to
bisschen besser zu
understand everything
verstehen,
better, even
auch,
Etsy better,
Etsy, die Folie von Etsy besser
when
zu
finally
verstehen,
all the photos
als ich
were
diese
the right
ganzen
size
Fotos in
and
der
all of
richtigen
them were
Größe
not
hatte,
bigger than 1
alle auf
megabyte,
jeden Fall nicht größer als
and
1
so
MB
on and
waren
so
und so weiter
forth.
und so weiter. Vielleicht
Maybe you
erinnert
still
ihr euch
remember,
noch,
I
das hatte ich
already
schon mal
told you
besprochen
something
dazu,
about this
dass
in another
mir das
video,
unendlich
how
schwer gefallen ist,
infinitely
das zu
difficult it was
bewältigen.
for me in
Als
the
ich das
beginning
endlich
to
geschafft
cope
hatte,
with all this.
kamen dann ganz neue
And when
Dinge
I
dazu.
finally managed to do
Das
that,
Gewerbe anmelden
I
war
had to
überhaupt gar kein
deal with a
Problem.
whole new
Das
set of things,
war einfach.
whereas
Aber
the
dann
business
habe ich
registration was
durch
no problem
Zufall,
at all.
weil ich
I
etwas ganz
found that
anderes
easy.
recherchiert habe,
But then I
habe ich
read by
dann
chance, while I was
gelesen,
researching something
ich brauche eine
completely different,
Verpackungslizenz.
that I also need
Ja,
a so-called
vielleicht sagt ihr
packaging
jetzt alle,
license.
ja klar, du brauchst eine
And maybe
Verpackungslizenz.
now
War dir das
you're
nicht
all
klar?
saying,
Nein, war es mir
yeah,
nicht.
right,
Ich
you
hatte
need a
keine
packaging
Ahnung, dass es sowas
license.
überhaupt
Didn't you
gibt.
realize that?
Verpackungslizenz, wieso
No,
Verpackungslizenz?
I didn't realize that.
Ich bin die erste
I had no
Verwenderin
idea that such a
dieser
thing
Pakete,
even
die ich
existed.
verschicken möchte.
Why packaging license?
Und deswegen brauche ich eine
So, I
Verpackungslizenz.
am the
Das heißt,
first
ich
shipper of these packages
musste die
that I
erwerben,
want to send.
mich dort anmelden,
And for that reason, I need a packaging license. That is, I had to purchase it, register, and then I had to indicate how many more packaging materials of any kind I expect to ship this year. Yes, I hope I'm not boring you now, but it really kept me busy, because I thought, oh, such a small Etsy shop, surely I don't need that for that. But it's just that in 2019 the packaging law changed. So now you know that too. But there's something else that's important for me to say. These many small and sometimes for me also larger hurdles, which I have taken there, have led to the fact that with me 3 times a moment arose in which I said to myself, oh no, Tanisha, now it's enough, now it's enough, give it up, just leave it, maybe this is not the right time, you'll never make it this year. So there was something like an avoider in me.
Es war nicht direkt ein Sabotagemechanismus.
There was something in me that ultimately didn't want to prevent the opening of the store, but definitely wanted to delay it. I then asked myself the same question 3 times. Why do I want to open this store? And 3 times I had a very clear answer.
hinaus
I
in die
would
Welt
like my
geht
art to go
und
out into the world
auch für
and
andere
also be
Menschen
affordable
erschwinglich
for other
zu
people to
erwerben
purchase,
ist, dass sie
that
eure
it
Wohnungen,
beautifies your
eure Häuser
apartments, your
verschönert,
houses, that
dass
you
ihr sie
perhaps
vielleicht
give it
verschenkt
away
hier und
here and
da
there, or give it
oder
to
euch selber
yourself.
geschenkt. Ja,
Yes, I would
ich möchte,
like my
dass meine
art to be
Kunst
seen and also
gesehen
to
werden
be
kann
purchased.
und auch erworben werden kann.
Yes,
Ja,
that's
das
it.
ist es. Dass sie
That
an die
it
Luft
comes
kommt,
into the air,
an die frische
into the
Luft,
fresh air,
hinaus aus meinen Räumen.
and out of my rooms. Thank you
Ich
for
danke
being
euch, dass ihr
here,
hier wart,
for
dass ihr
accompanying
mich
me
begleitet
on these adventures for
auf
me.
diesen für mich wirklich Abenteuer.
And take a look.
Und
And maybe you
vielleicht
still need
braucht ihr ja
one
noch
or
das
the
eine
other
oder
Christmas
andere
gift.
Weihnachtsgeschenk.
But even
Aber
regardless of
auch
that,
unabhängig davon
I'm
freue ich mich
very
riesig,
happy when my art contributes
wenn
to
meine
your
Kunst
joy.
zu eurer
And if
Freude
it makes the
beiträgt,
world
euch die
more
Welt
colorful,
bunter,
more
schöner
beautiful.
macht. Ja,
There's so
es
much
gibt so viel
gray
Grau
in the
und
world.
Beige und ja,
And
das
you should know,
habe ich mich immer bemüht,
I
doch auch mal
sometimes
so ein
or
bisschen
even
weniger
often
farbig
tried
unterwegs
to
zu sein. Aber ich bin
paint
einfach
a
eine
bit
Bunthexe
less
und
colorful.
ich lasse es
But
gerne
to
krachen mit
be
Farben
honest,
und das kann
I'm
sich
a
vielleicht mal
witch
ändern,
of
aber
colors
ich vermute,
and I
dass
like
es
to
eher
let it
nicht
rip
so sein
with
wird.
colors.
Also wie gesagt,
So thanks
dann
again for being
nochmal
there,
danke, dass
maybe
ihr
even
da
being
wart,
there
vielleicht ja wieder
again,
da wart
and see you in
und
2 weeks.
bis in 2
Enjoy the
Wochen.
fall,
Genießt den
snuggle
Herbst, mümmelt euch ein,
make
macht
some
euch Tee,
tea,
lasst euch gut
take it
gehen.
easy.
Tschüss.
Bye.
Und ich habe ganz vergessen,
And
ja,
I
jetzt habe ich
forgot,
sie extra
yes,
hingestellt. Ich
now
habe
I
euch
put
ganz
it there.
vergessen,
I forgot to show you my little
meine
goddess.
kleine Göttin
Here,
zu zeigen.
the little
Hier, die
goddess.
kleine Göttin.
You probably don't see
Wahrscheinlich
her
seht ihr
so
die gar
well.
nicht so gut, aber
I
diese kleine
made
Göttin,
this
die habe
little
ich vor
goddess
3
out of
Jahren
old
habe
paper
ich die
3 years
aus
ago.
altem Papier gemacht.
And
Und
I love it
ich
so
liebe die
much.
so.
Bye bye now.
Tschüss.